So now that I've got you all here, I want to tell you something that I didn't want to share in the title or the description for this service ahead of time. Because the alternative title I had in my mind for this service was Content Warning. Give me a second, I'll get there. A colleague of mine recently relayed a story about a congregant who told them that a specific word they used in worship was offensive to them. I don't want to share what the word was, that's not really the point. But I'm sure we all have these. Perhaps a swear word you don't want to hear, or an insult, or just something that really strikes you the wrong way, even if it's not that big a deal. And I want to talk about this idea as it relates to Unitarian Universalist identity, because I think it's really important. I very rarely swear from the pulpit, and only after careful consideration. I try my best to never use insults, especially ones that are, stereotypes about groups of people. And for that matter, I try not to use insults at all, especially here from the pulpit. And though I know, sorry, I lost my place here. Give me a second. I totally lost my place. Okay. I know I've said plenty of things over the years that didn't sit right with some people out in the congregation. That's never been my intention when I step up to the pulpit. I'm never trying to make somebody upset. But I am committed to honoring a wide range of religious and non-religious ideas. I'm committed to honoring that there are beliefs that might not resonate with all of us individually, but absolutely do resonate with some of us, and it's important to lift those up from time to time. So whether that's things like God, or salvation, or particular earth-based traditions, or Judaism, or Islam, or Buddhism, or any of 100 other religious traditions we could name, or agnosticism, or atheism, or ideas from the world that aren't religious at all. I think it's okay to talk about any of these here, and many of them are important to one or more people in our community. So when I say content warning, I don't mean I'm going to say anything off-color or intentionally offensive today, but I do want to talk about what it means and what it does not mean to be Unitarian Universalists, and for us to hold UU worship here each Sunday. Our promise to one another, what we call a covenant, is that we are in community, that we are working always to support and love one another, but also to help each other grow. We are welcoming to all who come to our doors, but with the expectation that all who come here will abide by our expectations, at least while they are with us. So this means that though we honor a wide variety of viewpoints, we don't honor all of them. As our reading lifted up, if you think that some people are better than others based on their, say, skin color or gender identity, social class, or many other characteristics of their identity, that's just not going to fly here. If you think that you have discovered the one true path and that all the other ones are false, that's not going to work in this community. If you think you are perfect and have nothing left to learn, no ways in which you could still grow, this is not the place for you. And also, you're wrong. But if you love meeting people who might agree with you on a whole lot of things, but also have some interesting differences, this might be your community. If you acknowledge that there are many ways to be right and also many ways to be wrong, this might be your congregation. And if you know you need help and support and a community to become the person you fully want to be, then welcome again. So for those of us who are already committed Unitarian Universalists, not just visiting or trying something out, though you're very welcome to, but I'm going to talk to the committed you use for a moment. There's another reality to consider. As much as we love this community and value it, and that's a common opinion among members that they love this place and value it. I'm not just saying that. As much as that is the case, there will come a time, if it has not already happened, when this community or one of its members will let you down or upset you or just plain piss you off. Because what I will not promise is that you will never hear something here that upsets you, or that you will always like everyone, or that you'll never be uncomfortable about something. Because we live in a world where perfect safety doesn't exist, a world where eternal comfort is only a dream. We live as humans, imperfect beings who are doomed to fail sometimes. And we live as communities of those imperfect beings, and thus we live in imperfect communities. The good news is that it's not all or nothing. It's not perfection or abject failure. We can do the best we can, and we do here, I think. Or, this seems all too common today in the world, we could choose not to try at all. I want to give an example of that for a moment. It's not a UU example or not a UU exclusive example, that's for sure. There are communities which essentially have no standards for behavior, where any behavior is acceptable, and thus all sorts of behaviors thrive. And yes, I am talking here about the platform formerly known as Twitter. I made the mistake, not for the first time, though I've been pretty good about avoiding this, of getting into it on that platform with someone a few days ago. And as always happens, I regret it so much. Because everything becomes just an insult fight. There's no real talking or reasoning or anything that resembles actual debate. And I quickly remember why I hate it. Because it just raises my anxiety, and it doesn't accomplish anything, really. I'm not changing any minds. And I know that social media has always contained some element of this, but it's hard to deny that things have gotten a lot worse, especially on that particular platform, which is now owned by a guy who seems to support every ridiculous right-wing proposal and is interested in every wild conspiracy, and has no interest in promoting better behavior at all, as far as I can tell. And I say this all to say, A, avoid Twitter. But B, it doesn't have to be like that. No community is perfect, but here, and in a lot of places, we have standards and expectations about how we will be together. Some of those are that you come with good intentions, that you have to be willing to change and to be changed as you learn more, and that you acknowledge that there are a lot of perspectives and ideas and beliefs in our world, and that yours are not the only ones that are good or right. Unitarian Universalists believe in community and in pluralism and in collective decision-making. And to go back a little bit in our sermon, if any of those things are unacceptable to you, this might not be the place for you, as much as we would love to have you. So having said all that, most of today's readings, you might have noticed, have been about living out our faith. And that's actually our focus as a religious community. As much as we use our thinkers and ponderers, backyard philosophers, and sidewalk conversationalists, our faith has been focused not just on what you believe or say, but on what that looks like in the world. Thoughts and prayers are empty if they aren't accompanied by action. And yes, here I'm talking to politicians with their constant thoughts and prayers after every tragedy, every school shooting, and then their spineless inaction when it comes time to do anything about it. As Unitarian Universalists, we strive to be in right relationship with others and with our world. We try to use right words and back it up with right action. And we fail, of course, but then we try again. So in addition to gathering in community, to making promises about how we behave with one another, There's one more crucial thing that it takes to be you, and I'll have a little more to say about this in 2 weeks in my next sermon, actually. When we imperfect beings inevitably fail, we try again and we try to make things right. Now, that looks a lot of different ways. There's not one way to try to take accountability and make things right again. For me and the platform formerly known as Twitter, well, I took a moment to reassess and then took the step of deleting the app off my phone. I didn't delete my account. I'll go back at some point. I'm not done with it forever, I don't think. But I removed the immediate temptation. Making things right might also look like apologizing to someone we have wronged and striving to repair the relationship. It might look, and we heard about this in our 8th note reading today, it might look like being clear about your needs and boundaries and taking care of yourself. But what it doesn't mean is willfully doing the wrong thing, being divisive, stirring up trouble for no reason. It doesn't mean ignoring a wrong and hoping it just goes away. It means taking accountability for your part in whatever has happened, doing what you can to fix damage, and coming back to the relationship and the covenant once again, to the degree those things are possible. Sometimes they're not. But to the degree they are possible, not just to the degree to which they are comfortable. So friends, welcome again to our community. And welcome to what it means to be Unitarian Universalists, to be together, to support one another, and to try again each time we fail. Thanks for being in this with me. Amen.